Hey, what's up everyone? You're here with Goran from Pick Dawgz and you're here for your free picks from the EPL on Saturday, February 25th. Well guys, this weekend should be fairly exciting in England. We have 6 games on the schedule on Saturday and both Arsenal and Manchester City are playing, and of course we have that EFL Cup finals or the Carabao Cup finals on Sunday. That is going to be between Manchester United and Newcastle. But before we get to that, we gotta go through the EPL and some other leagues on Saturday. So make sure you check out the rest of the free picks, guys. We have all the videos for all the top European football leagues, and it should be a very exciting Saturday once again. We are gonna kick it off with this game at 10 a.m. Eastern, guys, between Everton and Aston Villa. And we have two teams that are struggling keeping the clean sheet right now, especially Everton, the team that has been very, very inconsistent this season. But since Sean Dyche arrived at the club as the head coach, Everton actually has 2 wins in their last 3 games. And in both of those wins, they kept a clean sheet, which is definitely an improvement since Frank Lampard was the head coach. Both teams have a few injured players, and definitely that will reduce their depth for this game. However, both teams still have a lot of quality left, especially Aston Villa, who are struggling, like I said, quite a bit with keeping the ball out of their net. And they are actually on a 3 game losing streak. And during that losing streak, they have conceded 11 goals. And they played against Leicester, Manchester City, and Arsenal. The good news for Aston Villa, I suppose, is that they have scored at least 1 goal in their last 9 games in a row, and they can be a very, very dangerous team here. And I'm pretty sure that Everton will not have a lot of fun here on the defensive end. In head-to-head matches, Aston Villa is actually on a 3 game winning streak against Everton, but Everton still needs to fight to stay outside the relegation zone, which they are at the moment. However, they're only 1 point away from it, and if they lose a game here, they could very well end up back in the relegation zone. So I see both sides going for the win here, especially Aston Villa to end their losing streak. And for that reason, guys, I'm gonna go with both teams to score at -103 in this one. Like I said, both teams are struggling with keeping the clean sheet, and I simply do not see either side doing it in this game. In the next matchup in the EPL, guys, we have Leeds hosting Southampton, and this is a matchup where both teams will as well go for the win, especially Southampton, who are now at the bottom of the table in that 20th place. And even after the coaching change, this team hasn't been doing a good job, and they are one of the worst offensive teams in the league with only 19 scored goals this season. Defensively, these two sides are pretty even, uh, and Southampton has conceded 40 goals while Leeds has 39 conceded goals, and both of these two teams are in the relegation zone. Like I said, Southampton at the bottom in the 20th place, while Leeds is 1 spot above them with 19 points. The competition for the at the bottom of the table in DPL is pretty strong this season, and all of the teams are within a single point. And honestly, there could be at least 8 different teams that could end up in the relegation zone or getting relegated, and the teams that could be staying in the EPL. That's how tight of a competition we have at the bottom of the table in the EPL. In head-to-head games, we usually see a fairly interesting matchup, and I don't know. We have two teams in a pretty bad form right now. Leeds haven't won any of their last 4 games, while Southampton has lost 3 of their last 4 games. On the brighter side, Southampton has beaten Chelsea last weekend in the EPL 1-0 on the road, and that is definitely going to be a win that's going to carry Southampton into this match. However, we know that they have been very, very inconsistent this season, and they still have a few injured players, but so does Leeds. And for that reason, guys, with both teams going for the win here, I see the over 2.5 hitting, and we are actually getting over 2.5 at -104. That's an excellent price on two very, very poor defensive teams, and yet again, we have two teams that are capable of scoring goals. So I'm going with the over 2.5 in this one. West Ham, guys, is hosting Nottingham Forest, and they're actually pretty decent favorites here. They have been playing a lot better. As of late, they have lost only one of their last 5 games, while Nottingham Forest is actually on quite of a bad streak right now. They haven't won any of their last 2 games, while winning only one of their last 6. And in head-to-head matches, West Ham has been dominant in this matchup. On top of all that, guys, Nottingham Forest has only 1 win so far on the road this season, and they are missing a lot of players. They still have like 11 or 12 injured players, and probably 6 or 7 of those players would be in the starting lineup here for Nottingham Forest. A bit of a good news for Nottingham Forest at the moment is the fact that they are above the relegation zone, and they have a bit of a room to breathe, I guess, because they are 5 points away from the relegation zone. However, if they lose this game, that is gonna get ugly real quick, and West Ham actually needs a win here to get out of the relegation zone. Defensively, West Ham hasn't been the greatest team in the league, but they have done a solid job so far. They are the best defensive teams of all of those bottom teams in the EPL. However, they lack some serious offense, and they are one of the worst offensive teams in the league right now. Like I said, West Ham has been performing a lot better as of late. They have lost only one of their last 5 games, and with the price we are getting on the West Ham on the money line, I'm gonna keep it simple, and I'm gonna take West Ham on the money line here, guys. They are the home team here. They are the better team here. They have way less injuries, and with a win here, they are getting out of the relegation zone, which is something that they definitely want. So I'm taking West Ham on the money line at -127. Bournemouth is hosting Manchester City, guys, and even though Manchester City hasn't lost in their last Champions League game they played against Leipzig earlier this week, that game ended in a 1-1 draw, and that is actually their second 1-1 draw in a row after tying to Nottingham Forest in the EPL last weekend. Bournemouth actually got a nice win against Wolverhampton last week, and it was 1-0 on the road. And there has been some forward movement from this team. There has been some improvement, and with that, they are on the verge of getting outside the relegation zone. They are now in 17th place with 21 points, and possibly with a positive outcome in this game, it might be enough for them to get to that 15th or 16th spot. On the other side, guys, Bournemouth hasn't won any of their last 12 games against Manchester City, playing since 2015. Not only they haven't won a single game, they have lost all 12 of those games. Manchester City has been incredibly dominant in this matchup. They have been scoring a lot of goals. However, we know that they have been in a bit of a slump before. They definitely can concede goals, and they tend to lose focus on that defensive end more often than not. Now, if Manchester City will get Kevin De Bruyne back for this game, I think that Erling Haaland is finally going to have a nice, steady performance. But if not, this is going to be one of those games where City will definitely struggle to score goals, even though they will probably create a dozen chances. So, with that in mind, guys, I simply cannot disregard the fact that they have beaten Bournemouth every single time since 2015. So, I'm going to go with both teams to score and Manchester City to win at +210. I think it's definitely worth a shot. We can see that Bournemouth is definitely capable of scoring goals, or at least creating chances, and then with a bit of luck they will get on the scoreboard here. But then again, I simply do not see them getting a positive result here, because Manchester City is still in the title hunt, and they need to stab that. They need to lose that 2-game draw streak that they are on right now. So I'm taking both teams to score and Manchester City to win. And guys, we're going to close out the EPL day with this Crystal Palace versus Liverpool matchup. And you know what? I simply don't have words for what happened to Liverpool in that game against Real Madrid in the Champions League, especially in the second half. After being ahead 2-1 in the first half, Liverpool basically disappeared in the second half. They conceded 5 goals overall in this game. 4 of those were in the second half. Real Madrid simply killed them. They literally killed them in the second half, and it's gonna be a very, very hard task for Liverpool to snap out of that losing streak and snap out of that horrible loss they suffered. Uh, Crystal Palace hasn't won any of their last 8 games. However, they have lost only one of their last 5, and they have been scoring goals pretty consistently, even against Manchester United and Brighton, who are very solid teams right now. And they have even scored against Brentford, and that's not an easy task as well, because Brentford is a very tough team to score against. Uh, I don't know. I mean, the quality is definitely on Liverpool's side here, guys. But I am not willing to put my money on that after that loss they suffered in the Champions League. So I'm gonna stay away from sides in this one, and I'm simply gonna take over 2.5 goals at -129. It's an excellent price on two teams that can score goals, two teams that are scoring goals pretty consistently. But then again, Liverpool defense is quite shocked right now, and I think that Crystal Palace will know how to take advantage of that. So I'm gonna go with over 2.5 at -129, and maybe even put half a unit on both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, and just see what happens. That's it, guys. This was your free picks from the EPL on Saturday, February 25th. Thank you for joining me here. We have a lot more free picks to come, so make sure you subscribe to the Pickdawgz YouTube channel. Of course, hit that like button, and I'll see you soon with more free winners.